So I'm going to walk you through my 3 SAY questions for Lemonade's Q1 2023 earnings call coming up on May 4th in the morning. I want to walk you through my questions and why I asked these questions so you can decide if they're worthy of your upvote or not. So the first question is, how is the approval of your rate changes by regulators going? Can you give some update or color here? Right now, it's looking like this might be answered in the call because there's 35 votes so far and 80,000 Lemonade shares represented with those votes thus far. It's an important question because it affects their loss ratio. I have a pinned tweet thread on my Twitter account, and I talk about their loss ratio, customer churn, and operating costs. Well, customer churn and operating costs are actually both improving quarter over quarter, continuing to improve. But the loss ratio has really been tracking too high, or still definitely too high, and we really need to see progress there. And the rate changes by regulators is important because Lemonade submits rate changes. They want to increase their prices because inflation keeps rising. But regulators have to actually approve those price changes before Lemonade can charge customers or sell those products at those prices. So to combat the loss ratio that would be affected just by inflation, just by rising costs, these are really important sort of feedback here. So I hope we get an answer on this question. Second question is, with a wave of new AI development seemingly happening every week, what specific ways does Lemonade envision using AI to improve customer delight and organization efficiency? And this is an important question. I really do hope we get more votes for. We do get upvoted. We do get answered. In my mind, it's really clear that Lemonade management sees or envisions using AI in creative ways to unlock efficiency in their organization itself, which should could in theory reduce headcount, reduce expenses, and make them a really competitive company in the insurance space. So just as AI is being talked about so much recently in recent months, I'd love to hear a longer term vision of this fleshed out from Shai. Basically, an update on this blog post called The Rise of the Autonomous Organizations with more detail that's up to date on the current state of things. So I would love if more people really come and upvote this question. If that intrigues you, please do, because I'd love to get an answer on this. Maybe we'll even get an answer or some kind of answer in the write-up itself, the letter to shareholders, but I would appreciate your upvotes on this one. And the third question I asked which has less votes right now, but I still think is an interesting question. I'll tell you why. It's called, your Oregon car customers are using a plug-in OBD-II device for telematics tracking. Why do you offer this device instead of phone tracking only? And can you tell us more about this device and how it differs from competitors' telematics devices? Basically, Lemonade car customers in Oregon have the opportunity to use an OBD device that plugs into your car and tracks telematics information. Metromile, who Lemonade has acquired and is still integrating with, had their own device called the Pulse, and basically helps track your car's health and more, and does plugs into your car. But I believe Lemonade has basically taken the Metromile device and re-engineered it to make it better. And other car insurance companies have these kind of tracking devices that plug in through the OBD port in a car. But I'm just really curious to know, is there anything sort of special sauce? Is there anything in the engineering, anything in the thought and design about the Lemonade's version of this OBD device that's going to plug in into your carport that really makes them unique or extra special, or can track telematics in some better way, or integration of the data in some better way? And these are important questions because car is a really important product, partly because it's a huge market, but also because it gives detailed feedback about the customer to Lemonade. So you can really know, are you a safe driver? Are you not a safe driver? Do you drive a lot? Do you not drive a lot? Are you reckless? Do you drive all the time at 3 a.m.? What time do you drive at? All these kind of details can paint more of a picture about who you are as a customer. And that really at the core is what insurance is all about. How well can you price someone's risk? Are they a risky person? Are they not a risky person? That really is the most important skill or core competency an insurance provider could have. So if there's anything special about this port or this device that they're plugging in, I would love to hear more commentary from management. So that's why I asked. It might seem like a really specific question. Some people might, maybe why they haven't upvoted it. But if that intrigues you in any way, like it intrigues me, please give that an upvote because I'd love to hear that. I didn't ask any question about insider buying. I think we'll probably get that answered because there's 104 votes, though only 37,000 shares. So we'll see. But 104 votes on the question by Darren. It says, how can you possibly expect investors to support the current management team if not a single insider is buying shares at these extremely low levels? Why should we? See, actually, I didn't ask any questions like this because I tried asking a question like this a year prior. In Q1 2022, I said there's been very little insider buying, even as the market cap nears the value of cash and liquid assets. How come? And Daniel basically gave this answer. He said, clearly, stocks have taken a major tumble. Lemonade has dropped 50% year to date. It's fairly typical across tech stocks in the whole sector. So the stock is just down for, as partly as the whole market is down. And turning to the specific question, though, he says, I know people are really interested in whether insiders are buying or selling. I'm not interested in it. We don't talk about it. We're not like, it's not something, you talk about even with your partner shy, like, hey, you're going to be buying shares, or not. They're not thinking about it. It sounds like they're thinking about the execution of the actual day-to-day operations of the company. So he said, people buy and sell for many reasons. I've never found this to be a helpful gauge of anybody's commitment or faith in Lemonade. In any event, since the question is asked not about the action of the company, but of individuals who work here for whom I cannot speak, you must say. But let me answer for myself. I have incredibly high conviction in the long-term prospects of Lemonade and its shares. And indeed, the majority of our family's wealth is in a single stock, Lemonade. So I expect this to be true for many years to come. And expect to hear similar sentiment from all insiders. And I do hope that addresses the concerns that underlines the question. So I kind of asked that, kind of got that answer. I kind of feel like if this does get asked again, we'll probably get kind of a similar answer. And then other people ask questions like, is it path to profitability management top priority? If so, could you please elaborate on the strategy? I didn't ask any question like this, though I know everybody wants this reassurance, and I'm sure they'll give some reassurance around this. But I mean, what else do you want them to say? Like, it's kind of like, of course, is the path to profitability management's top priority? Yes, of course, that's one of their, or if not their top priorities. They have to become a profitable company. And then he says, if so, could you please elaborate this strategy? Well, if this question got asked and this was answered, they probably just say, well, watch the investor day presentation from last November. That's the kind of answer you're going to get on a question like this. And really, you should just go back if you're really doubting this and you're wondering the answer for this. Just go watch that presentation again. That's gonna be the best answer they can possibly give. That's why I didn't ask any sort of those sorts of questions. I tried to get really more specific about how's the regulator approval rate going, how's AI, what's the new updated vision for this autonomous organization. Tell us, Shy. Just spell that out for us so we can get that more clearly. It'd be really, really great. And then this OBD device for Oregon car. I want to know how much better is their car product potentially than any other insurance provider, any other legacy insurance provider that tries to do a telematics sort of offering. So please upvote those questions if you thought they're worthy of their upvote. I will link them down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And remember, it's in the bag.